this year now.
Your mom,
We can scratch.
you can't act arranged because one day some
Big
grandchildren might see you wanting this. And if you act arranged, you
Well,
might see
sister's
you on
never
mental
gonna see me
institution.
because she took her picture, but she's not gonna let me see.
It's what?
Let me back it up, Star.
She does.
Yeah, she said when she grew up, had children, she wasn't gonna let me see them.
I think I ought to went Tide Bonnet before we started this deal.
Uh,
I think I ought to went Tide Bonnet before we started this deal.
Hi, good afternoon. This is the first of several Cochran mini documentaries taken at Robinsonville, North Carolina. Today's date is September the 17th, 1989. It's a Sunday afternoon, and all the Cochran clan is gathered around in the old home place at Robinsonville, North Carolina. We want to make a record for family purposes of some of the family's remembrances, some of the important information about family in times gone by, and also have some discussion with the patriarch of the family, Mr. Cochran over here, and the matriarch of the family, Mrs. Cochran over here. I understand from the director, Mr. Jack Jenkins Cochran, that it's his desire that we discuss lots of our remembrances about granddaddies and great-granddaddies and the way we grew up and the way times were. So, Pop, why don't you talk a little bit about Granddaddy Spear and Mama and like you were doing this morning, sitting out on the tree.
What we're doing this morning.
You were telling me about Spear and making you all plow out in the field, and the fact that he had a mustache. See, we don't remember that Spear had a mustache. Where he came from, and the fact that he was a good deal older than Mama, and that kind of stuff.
Well, my granddaddy came from Halifax County, and he married my grandmother, and she was from Edgecombe County, and there was 15 years difference in their ages. He was born in 1860, and she was born in 1875. Granddaddy died in 1945.
Yeah, I believe that's what you said.
1945. My grandmother died in 1946. And my granddaddy was a right good man, and he enjoyed company and all. And he was hard fellow to work with colored people. It wouldn't work for him. But,
why wouldn't they work for? Why wouldn't they work for?
because he was so hard working on them, make them work hard.
They can earn all the money.
Yeah, and he came in the field where I was, and I won't plow, I was plowing a mule, and the one thing in the world he was suiting me. So he said, Robert said, why don't you plow so-and-so? I want it plowed so-and-so. So I said, all right, Papa. And I went on down the next row, and there was a stump in the road. So I ran into the stump and broke the pea-weeder off the plow. And boy, when I come back to the end, he was a mad man. He said, son, says, take this thing, pea-weeder, and plow it, go uptown, and on the mule's back, and get another one like it. So I said, all right. So it was about 10:30 or 11 at that time. And when I came back, he was standing out in the field waiting for me. And when I went to town, I got the wrong one for the wrong side. And you talk about mad when I got back. He was a mad man in this world. It's time to come to the house for Dolly, and I was glad of it.
But you have to go back over to uptown and get the right one?
Yeah, I went back and got it, but the time I put it in all the time, come to the house for dinner time.
So you wasted the whole morning. Huh?
Yeah.
Well, now Papa didn't grow up in Robinsonville. Where did he come from?
Halifax County. What is it?
Crow's Cross.
Crow's Cross Road.
Okay.
When did he move here?
He moved down to Robinsonville right around 1900. He moved from up in Edgecombe or Bethel up that way. And he moved in this home where we now live in 1904, somewhere around March 1904.
He was born in 1860, so that would make him about 44. Had he already married, he had already married at that time,
Yeah, and
married Louis.
me Jack said something about getting married. He was, I don't know like how old she was when she got married, but she was young, and she said he went to town and bought a suit of clothes to get married in. And when he went and put the suit of clothes on when to get married, he had never tried a suit of clothes. He had to roll his britches legs up. Yeah.
And you were telling me this morning that was an old black lady that kept house for Mama and Papa when they got old.
Yeah, when they got old,
Her name was Hester.
Hester, I can't remember the other. But anyhow, she was right comical. But she and my aunt, which I call sister, couldn't get along for nothing. My aunt was a school teacher. And I had to dare them this time trying to make peace and keep peace because we need that kind of woman to look at the folks. And my granddaddy died first. And I was off on the tobacco market at that time. And my aunt said that we called upstairs to tell the colored boys that colored woman that my granddaddy died. She took one step to come down the steps and she slipped and bumped it all the way to the bottom, right on out the front door.
Who fell?
And she left and went and stayed across the railroad over there. Give birth.
So Hester didn't want to stay in here with somebody.
She won't stay while I'm in there. But she stayed till my grandmother died, which was the next. Granddaddy died somewhere around the 1st of December. She died the day before her birthday was, which birthday was on the 6th.
Her name was Lula Nelson.
Lula Nelson.
Where did they meet?
Hannah Louise Nelson or something like that.
They must have met in Bethel.
I reckon. Granddaddy used to say, which he always said some things I didn't believe, said he was plowing corn in the field when he got the news about his future wife was born. And said when they plowed corn in the field, they got way back in the field back in them days, said they had on nothing but a long shirt, nothing but a pair of shoes and a long shirt come down below the knee. They said they were plowing corn. Said it was the coolest way to plow corn.
Well, now your dad was killed when he was a young man in an automobile accident.
Right. My daddy got killed in 1932. He got hurt on Sunday on the 23rd, and he died on a Tuesday morning about 5 o'clock.
And how old were you at the time?
I was 16 years old. And I got a brother, and I'm 7.5 years younger than he is. I'm older. And he got a leg hurt and some teeth knocked out, and my mother got her hip broke. And that happened about 1.5 miles from Boston.
Now you when you were growing up, you lived here with your grandmama and granddaddy.
From the time I was 10 years old, I lived here from then on.
And your dad and mom lived down?
Lived here across the field, and the house was built for them. And I used to come up to their house on my tricycle and come across the field, and there was a ditch between here and there. And my grandmother got out of me one day, goes out and do something, and I went to go across the bridge, and I ran into the ditch with my tricycle. Said I hollered.
You were born right now? The same
No, I was born uptown. I was born uptown in, was it Christian Parsons or something? Upstairs, but I moved down there when I was very little.
The Christian Parsons. And where was that?
That was where the telephone office is right now.
Oh, right across the street from David Grimes.
But I was born and raised, and I am a native of Robinsonville. I have always been, except for just a few months.
And Jack is real interested in family history. So your mother's maiden name was White.
Yeah.
And what about her family? She had brothers and sisters.
Yeah, she was the youngest out of 2 wives. Her daddy was named, what was his name? King White?
Yeah.
I believe it was King White. And he had 2 sets of children. And my mother was the last child out of the second set. And her half sister raised her, Maggie Taylor.
She was the one out at Spring Green? Ain't Maggie Taylor lived out around Spring Green?
They did before they moved to Rossville, but they lived in the house down there where Adam Water lives now. Where Mr. Marion Green used to live first.
Then you live
They moved to Washington. He used to run a store here. And not no disrespect to him, but he loved his toddy, and he'd get with a bunch right here, and he'd got a whole lot of drinking. So he went to Washington and got bought and went in the grocery store, and that's where he died down in Washington. She died down there. And by the way, that's where we got our first television. What we got from him.
I remember that. And she's buried out at Spring Green.
Yeah, she's buried out there.
That's the reason I thought she
Yeah,
lived out there.
that was a long funeral.
His name was Calvin Keenwhite, and your grandmother's name, Holland Taylor.
That wasn't my grandmother, that was my mother.
Her name was Colin Collins.
Your mother was Pauline Holland White, and your grandma would be Holland Taylor.
Okay.
I think the Taylors originated from Edgecounty County.
All right.
And back down between Badgrass and Williams.
And what else you want to know, Mick?
Well, you were telling me today about when you were growing up, times sort of hard. Papa and your daddy ran a dairy.
That's right.
You
we
and
sold
Archie
milk.
Moore used to go around town selling milk.
Milk. Live with milk around town.
About a quart.
About a quart.
And also, you were saying something about Jigs found your eggs. You were trying to.
Yeah, things back in them days were mighty tight. And I looked up eggs from my grandmother, being I stayed with her. And I took a large stand and put it in the back of barn. And that'd get me 1 egg a day. And they had put a lid on it to keep the rats from getting it. And I had accumulated exactly 10. My younger brother come by and goes out there and picks up that large stand and brings it to the house and tells my grandmother that he has found a hen nest in the tobacco barn and a large stand with a lid on it. She didn't ever say nothing to me about it, but I know she knew that I was the one who got them. Things were so tight, fellas, I couldn't even get enough eggs to get a dime. Now you know they were tight.
What did you want the dimes for?
Wanted to buy me some candy or something, I don't know what.
We wanted to go to the movie that Saturday.
I don't know about that, but that was way back on. That was before I got to go to movies. Didn't you know what I did?
Okay.
And you were telling me, I don't think this was this morning that you were telling me this, but you and Archie used to bring the cows up from the pasture and bring them in that path down there.
Yeah, we used to go, when they built the highway through here, 6 to 4. It was 90 at one time, but it's 6 to 4 this time. We had cows across the road over there, and we would go over there, and I would get out on the highway and head them when they come out, so they come down behind the field right here. And Archie would catch the first one come by
By the tail.
wrap his hand in the tail. And poor me, I couldn't run fast, so we had a little black cow. I'd get up with her tail and trot along behind her. But Archie was supposed to get up there and turn the tail loose and head the cows, keep them going to the railroad. But 9 times out of 10, I'm going to tell you the truth, that cow thought he would get right in the ditch before he ever turn that tail loose. Oh.
Well, how long did y'all run the dairy, and when was that? Was that back in the 20s or 30s?
Yeah. Let's see. Go back to 20s, Mickey. We had a Model T at that time with a little milk out of it.
So that's in the 20s.
Yeah, about a minute and 20.
And you were telling me this morning that Papa didn't know how to drive the car?
No, he got uptown one day and Archie was driving. He says, Archie, let me drive this car home. And he come down 6 to 4 and he turned to come up to the house. And when he got you in the yard, he run around right at the cotton patch. Didn't even know how to put the brakes on. He said, I tell you boys, I'll never drive it again. You already know how to put brakes on.
And when you got grown and first got married, well, that was before you got married, though. You worked in the drugstore?
Yes, sir.
And the druggist's name was?
Dr. Nye from Mullen, South Carolina.
How long did you work in the drugstore?
Oh, about 3-4 years off and on. Man, we were making good money back then, them days.
Making-
Getting 10 cents an hour.
Well, that's equal to a dozen eggs, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And later on, you got into the tobacco market. What were you doing to get into the tobacco market?
I was working down the warehouse with a company, put in sales, working in the warehouse, unloading tobacco. And one of the head graders come down here and worked, and he liked me, and he come to me and he says, we need to hire somebody. And he asked me, was I interested in going to work with the tobacco division, which was under civil service. And I told him I'd think about it, and I finally went with civil service. That's how I got into tobacco business, outside of after leaving Robertsville.
And you worked how many years? I know
Well,
about most of
I pulled, wait a minute. I started working in the warehouse when I was 17 in the tobacco business. And let's see.
working for a company.
No, I was working for the warehouse then, unloading tobacco, bushing up, I better not say that, with a horse and dog.
Well, that's all right. That's a good job.
Yeah.
Your daddy worked down there too then?
My daddy worked down there before I went down there. He was floor manager down in the warehouse. He was floor manager when he got killed.
He also worked in
He-
farming and just.
Yeah, he done carpenter work too. My daddy did. He helped build that first, no, he helped build that rear front warehouse in Robertsonville right now. So the other one burned up way back on. And I have been here and I have seen all the warehouses burn up with it sold tobacco in. And every one of them burned up on a Saturday night. And before that, they had 2 livery stables in Robertsonville, and they also burned up on a Saturday night. That was a famous night for burning things, I think.
That was selling it to the Yankees, wasn't it?
That's right.
Selling it to get the insurance money.
That's right.
Well, you when you started working for the civil service, then you started traveling on the tobacco market.
That's right.
Where have you been?
Kalamazoo and back. No, I've been as far as Owensboro, Kentucky, and
Valdosta, Georgia.
no, I've been further than that. I've been
Ohio.
down here right on the, where was that market I went to down there? Hayhire. I've been to Hayhire. That ain't the first one I went to, but I can't think of the name of it now. It was right on the border of Florida.
Oh, that's way down below the net line.
Yeah, I went to Florida and worked with a company down there one time, and I ain't never seen so many gnats in my life. And you could go to the house and take a bath and walk up the street, and the people lived down there didn't pay a bit more attention to the gnats than nothing. But when I walked down the street, I had to continue blowing each out of each corner of my mouth. I wouldn't tell some more, but that would do until later.
Well, when you were in the later tobacco career, you did a lot of work in Kentucky too.
Yeah.
You went to Timminsville. No, that's South Carolina. Where were you in Kentucky?
I went to Owensboro, Ripley, Ohio, Horse Cave, Glasgow,
Maysville.
Bowling Green.
And,
I think that's all.
Dan.
No, Bowling Green was in. Yeah, we were in Kentucky.
Yeah.
In
And,
Fayetteville, Tennessee, I worked in Franklin, Tennessee. No, Franklin. I think we was right close to it. We didn't have to see a month 30 about it. And that's about the only place I worked in Tennessee. And I worked in Richmond, in Danville, Virginia. I worked in Fluke Belt, and I worked in Winston-Salem, and I worked in, who was that?
Yeah, worked for son in Rocky Mountain.
Yeah, I worked in Rocky Mountain, but I was trying to get him in the Old Belt.
Oh, Reedsville.
Reedsville, I worked in Reedsville, and I worked in Roxborough a little bit. And then I came on down and I worked in Wilson, or Rocky Mount, and
Kinston.
Kinston. I I worked in Washington, and I worked in Williamston, and I also worked in my hometown some, and I worked in Greenville, Farmville. I believe that's about all I can think of right now.
Well, you know, what strikes me about your tobacco career is that when I was coming up, you used to leave to go on the bike market about the middle of July.
Right.
And we'd see you on weekends until sometime last February.
Well, if I want too far from home, I just come home on weekends, so it's too far.
Yeah.
When I went to Kentucky, Tennessee, it was too far. You couldn't make it.
Yeah. We'd see you at Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah, right.
Well, that must have been either a lot of fun or a big drudgery, one or the other.
Well, it was enjoyable at times, and when you were traveling, the weather conditions made it kind of miserable, I can tell you. I didn't mind the work too bad, but it was cold sometimes. You had to go to work in Kentucky with down to 0 or 10 below or something like that.
And you missed the home cooking. You got tired of eating out. So.
When I come home, Mama said, "What you want?" I said, "I want some collards."
Well, that's my remembrance of you going on the bike market was number one, that you were gone a lot, but number two, when I got old enough to drive, that you always took the car. And I don't know whether I missed you more or missed the car more.
Well, when I come home, you want to wind it up that day? You want to keep on?
If you want to wind
No,
that
go
with
ahead,
you.
go ahead, cut it off right there.
Those
You
things
gotta
gotta
go,
go.
You did good.
Sure did.
Good afternoon. This is Jack Cochran, the youngest son of Robert, my dad here, and my mother, Josephine Cochran. And this is a continuation of the Cochran memories several months ago that we did when we focused on my daddy here for about 20 minutes. And it's a pretty day here, Easter, 1990, April 15th. We want to start off by asking Mama some of her recent recollections where she was born and things like that. Mama?
Yeah. Oh, well, I was born in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, and I was next to the baby. Well, that's not really right. Well,
You were
I don't,
next to the youngest. Uncle
Yeah.
Herman was the youngest.
yeah, but he's not going yet. But anyway, I don't remember much about Elizabeth City,
Because you were just a few years
because
old.
I was just a baby, yeah.
Who was your doctor over
A doctor, and I was named for Dr. Farron, Dr. Zeno Farron. He's the one who delivered me. And as I say, I don't remember. But then we moved to Tarboro when I think my brother Martin was born before I was in Mississippi. About 2 years before I was born. And but then, before Herman was born, we moved to Tarboro. And three years after my birthday, he was born in Tarboro.
Was that in Tarboro that you moved or out in Edgecombe County?
It was in Tarboro,
In Tarboro.
on St. Andrew Street,
St. Andrews.
right across from Ms. Mara Pitt, and the Hyman, not Hyman Phillips, can't remember them two.
It's on the
Bond.
corner.
It was a Bond who was a lawyer, lived in Cookie's house, Cookingville's house. So we lived right across the corner from him.
Across the corner from Cookingville, diagonal. That's the corner of St. Andrew and what's Johnson.
I forgot.
Johnson Street runs by the middle school, Martin Middle School. Is that the
Yeah, that's.
same one?
that's
So how long did you live there?
I was 9 years old when my mother died. But while we were living there at that place, Herman was a baby. And that was, I was the several. But I believe Marion Gray and Charles Irvin were already old enough to be out on their own, you know. I think Marion Gray was working in the fountain, I believe. She was secretary, you know. I don't remember much about Charles Irvin.
So Charles Irvin and Marion Gray were a number of years older than you.
Yeah. So
You
they
don't-
were already, I don't remember.
You don't
really
recollect too
remember
much
them.
playing or
No.
any times specific about me.
And Connie and Francis, and I don't think I had it, but they had scarlet fever, and they had to be quarantined. And Miss Weeks, Dr. Weeks' wife who lived down on the corner, said that she was going to bring them a hammer so they could, you know, break the window and get out. But I remember that. See, I didn't have.
He said he's going to bring the hammer.
Yeah, well,
Let 'em-
bring a hammer down there so they could hit the window and get out, because they couldn't get out. You know.
How long
That
would
was
it-
just a joke.
How long were they
And-
quarantined?
For about a week.
About a week.
I remember a little something about that. And then something else I remember, Alice Weeks' pony died, and she invited us all to the funeral. And I remember running back home and asking my mother if I could drive her. She said, well, she had to curl my hair first. I had long curls, and she would fix them in a, you know, little in a finger, you know, long. They were just like that, little ringlets. And I know that's a pretty little girl. But anyway, and then, well, we used to, when I was real little, we used to visit my granddaddy fixing for a month of June.
The whole
And-
month?
And Elizabeth Randolph, my first cousin from Scotland Neck, would stay there too. Not the whole time, but we would laugh together.
So
And we played dolls and things under the house because it was so hot, you know. And we used to go to the grapevine and eat grapes and get on the. We would climb on the top of the vine through a hole we would make. And Granddaddy Dickman would be sitting on the porch. And if he saw us, he would make us come down. And he'd spank us. He'd lay us across his knees and spank us.
Did you spank home?
Yeah, you know it did hurt.
So that was Granddaddy Thickman, that was
Granddaddy Dickman.
Irvin Lafayette.
Yeah, Irvin Lafayette. And I remember my grandmother, but not very well. But she died like a long time before.
That was Miss Worsham.
Yeah, Mary Ann. She was short. And I guess maybe that's why I'm short. Because my daddy was tall. A little taller.
How tall was you then?
He's probably 5'8".
5'8".
Yeah. That's your height. Aren't you 5'8"?
Yeah, about 5'8", 5'7".
That's 5'7".
You're 5'7".
You and I are the same height. 5'7".
Well,
Unless I shrunk up though.
and going back to, oh, that's right. And then, and I don't remember what year it was. Oh, I remember we went to school at the old Bridges School.
Right down
in
Town
Taunton.
Common.
Yeah, it was Town Common. Went to school there, Mr. Bridges. It was named for the Bridges who used to live right down on the same block. Two of his sisters, they were old maids. He was a bachelor. I don't think that he got married. But anyway, the school was named for them. Bridges School, I think. Now, I may be wrong, because there was some more Bridges there. And,
They were pretty prominent people.
yeah.
Bridges.
And all of them. We were prominent. Well, we thought so. But anyway, let's see, I think I remember my mother used to make rolls, and she would sell them, you know, just to the people in the neighborhood.
They good rolls?
Oh yeah, they were the best.
they biscuits or rolls?
They were rolls. And she used to make candy. And she'd get, Frances would, I was too young for that, but Frances would, she used to fix them in little 5-cent packages, 5 cents a package. And today they would be 50 cents or $1 for that amount. And she had her regular customers. She just did that. She enjoyed doing it, and it helped her out sometimes. And
So she made a little money or income on that.
yeah, and I really don't remember when my daddy was a revenue officer, because he didn't get married till he was 40, and I was next to the last one who let I was the third to the little boy died. So he was already old when I was born.
So how long did he work with the revenue?
I don't know. That's what he was doing in Elizabeth City, and some around Tarboro too, because a lot of people around, even down here in Robinsonville, they remember him.
This Robert said, your wife's daddy said, didn't he still revenue man? I said, yes, and I thought I'd seen him.
Yeah. He won't make any liquor with him.
Who? No, he was just a young boy here in town back then.
But did he ever get shot at? Have any
Oh
close
yeah,
shaves?
well yeah, he got a shot in his hat,
Right through the cap.
right through the cap.
Let me interrupt right here.
Yeah,
He used to
do
be a
come back.
revenue, and he went down here to Plymouth and got after a man, a colored fellow was working as a fireman on the Atlantic Coast Line train. And he said, Mr. Jenkins, that guy jumped in Roanoke River, and said he jumped in there and caught it when it was in the wintertime cold. Said he got him, brought him back though.
Yeah.
Now go on.
Bet he was about to freeze.
And then let's see, out in the old Jenkins farm, that's where we lived. We used to. Well, after my mother died, is when we moved out in the country. I don't know what soon after. I can't remember. But we moved out in the country with Aunt Lottie and Uncle Jack and Daddy, all of us.
They moved down there not too far from Uncle Roy.
Yeah, my granddad lived in there.
No, the farm belongs to who?
Whose farm?
Clark.
Well, where you all moved down there with Madeline,
Oh, that belonged to Britt. Henry Britt.
Henry Britt.
No, that's not where we lived then. I was talking about after my mother died, we moved out to the Jenkins, the farm, that farm.
Oh,
My mother and not my mother and dad's, but my grandparents' farm.
It's on Highway
And that,
42, 43 is just Scott's Crossroad. Is that
Yeah,
what you're talking about?
Yeah.
The old house, the
The
white
one
house
I
with the
call-
red roof and
Yeah.
got a cell in it.
Yeah.
That burned up not too long ago.
Yeah.
It was replaced by a
I'm
mobile
sorry
home.
that got done.
That was an old
That's a
house.
pretty place. And that was a big house. It didn't look so big from the outside, but it was so big. It had a great big long hall, and on each side of the hall it had. We had the parlor. We used to have parlors, and then there's a bedroom here, and a bedroom there, and a bedroom there, and it was wide enough that we had enough room for to have a little. The wicker furniture out there, we had a place out there to sit. And then it opened up into the big den, the French doors right here. And the den was real big. And it had a fireplace, and that's where we sat. We had a fireplace. I don't remember having a stove to heat by. We must have been though, because we were, either we froze, I don't know. Because you can't get warm by a fireplace, no. And I guess we didn't have the central heat or anything like that. But we must have had a stove of some kind, I can't remember. And then from the den on either side of the fireplace, the French door leading into the dining room. And that was a real big room. Enough to seat all the families, and when Aunt Lottie have all the family Jenkins, they all came and seated everybody in there. And then next to that was the breakfast room. And then a little hallway and then the kitchen.
Was enough room for everybody?
Yeah.
Sleeping?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, that's right. There was a room, there was another bedroom on the side of the den. So that was about 5 bedrooms. And that's where my grandmother used to sleep. We didn't live there, though, when she was living.
Grandmama, Jane
Jenkins.
Mary Jane.
And I remember,
High ceilings, way up here.
I remember the lot of the, oh, it had these beams, you know, and hall was so pretty. And in the dining room, I put some being in the dining room.
How old were you when you moved out there?
Probably about 11.
You lived out there too? How old?
Then we moved to the house near Mildred. That's where I was living on that Robert. After that, we always went to community school. We went to community school. Graduated.
So you lived down in Mildred? Was it right on Highway 64? Or
No, it was like
in the church?
Yeah, it was like you were going to Granddaddy at 15. That knows that house.
You
That's a
got
nice
14 used orphan wells. Yeah, that's all. There's about 300 good school.
Is that Big Pinch Farm?
No, Jenkins.
Jenkins.
That was where, you know,
That's
I was
right next to Big Pinch Farm?
There
No,
wasn't that much to think there, no, but it was that much to school Jenkins farm. When it, Winslow on now, right?
yeah, well, going back to the Jenkins farm, I remember all the old, well, I don't remember the slaves that my granddaddy bought, but I remember the family. Because they were probably just already died when I was out there. But I remember the families. I remember Carter and Lyle
What was the last?
and Boots. I don't remember any last names. And Uncle John and Aunt Mandy, we used to call them all Aunt, you know, and Uncle. And we call Uncle John Pat, but he lived up on the hill. And the others lived down right on down the road, you know, on the farm. But I can't. Fanny was one.
They all worked on the Jenkins Farm? Did they help around the house too?
Yeah, we. Yeah.
His service.
Uncle John used to sit, Pat, used to sit back at the big stove, I remember that. And Fanny would be, she would make biscuits and we would have a lot of people. Well, I would sit in there and watch, you know, kind of learn how to be a people. And she'd make a big pan, it was a big pan. And I guess it took a lot for us. And then, of course, we had people.
Had a lot of guests. That was a big pastime to entertain guests back then.
Yeah.
What were some of the
That's
other
about all
things?
we
You
did.
play cards?
Yeah, we used to play cards. But Aunt Lossie would let us play on Sunday. She would get them and tear them up.
She would.
Play on Sunday. And,
So y'all went to church on Sunday?
oh yeah, she, while we were living out there, she took me to Sparta to the Episcopal Church, small. She was a member out. I guess she might have been a member later on in Tahoe. But then I was brought up in the Presbyterian Church, and that's where we were.
I thought you were married on the corner.
That's the Presbyterian.
I thought that was Methodist.
No, it's Methodist and then the Presbyterian.
Mr.
I don't know
Charlie,
which
he
one
changed
comes
his
first.
religion about three times.
Changed religion 3 times.
Yeah.
Well, I've always heard
Why did
something
they do
about that, but I don't know. I don't know.
Because Mary's wife.
And Uncle Jack used to, you know, when we lived out there, he used to walk to Spa. You know how far that was? You've been out there.
Yeah. About a mile. 2 miles.
He'd walk back to it, and he'd come back with his eyes just shining. And Lossie would say, Jack, you've been drinking.
You could go with the boys.
Was the bar down there?
I don't know. It was just sort of like your daddy goes down to this station. Well, he would go by and sit with all of them. He would take his toddies, but he got his eyes. And Aunt Lottie was a kid, and that. Well, I guess maybe she was really fussing with him because she hated that stuff.
She didn't have a drink.
Oh,
So y'all, what church did you go to out there in the country?
we went to the festival.
Just in town, Auburn.
Oh no, we went when I was living out in the country. We went to breakfast. I mean, she would take us out there, to her.
Most of your brothers and sisters go every Sunday.
Yeah. The ones at the bottom. And Frances, I wish she could tell you more than me. Because she said we were both, registered in the Presbyterian Church. We were Christian law. And then I think
Your mother was, she was only 43 when she died. And you
44.
44. You were 9 years old.
Well, I think so, because I
Yeah.
counted that soon. But, I don't remember too much about her. I might have
The
been
last
younger,
kid was
because
born, she had a kid
it's
died
like I
too,
would
that
remember.
was a boy.
The last year that she lived, she had a son that died.
You have that record.
Right. They were gonna call him Willis, right?
I think, I
After,
guess.
Willis Dupree, who was killed in the Civil War.
Redmond, he was the one.
Oh, Redmond.
Redmond, he was
Right.
the name Redmond.
Right.
But see, Herman was named Willis.
Right. That
And,
came down to the Dupree family.
Yeah. I remember when Herman was 16, he wasn't 16 because Uncle Willis from Richmond used to come and they'd go home. And, it was bad weather, and he wanted Herman drove him back to Richmond. He wasn't even 16.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He was 15.
I don't know, but he wasn't 16. And because Uncle Willis used to bring him. It's a wonder. I don't remember how he got to go. It's a wonder they let him go, but he did.
Now, who was
That
Uncle
was
Willie?
That was my dad's brother. Aunt Lossie's and my brother.
He was older than your dad.
I don't know. I don't know.
And that was another brother named Sam, right?
Frank lived in Shelby, and he had 5 children. He had 4 girls and a boy. And Franklin got he was in some school, some private school. He died.
Died young in school.
I don't
He
know.
died
I
in
don't.
scarlet fever, or-
I don't know. It's something, but it wasn't boy. It was because he was still in high school.
Well, your Uncle Sam, that was not too far from the Jenkins farm down the road towards Bonita. There was another farm, the Pitt farm. Didn't
Oh
Sam,
yeah,
Sam and Nora
Uncle
Pitt
Sam
live there?
Jenkins, yeah, and his wife Nora Pitt Jenkins lived by us, and they had 2 children, Mabel and Wilbur, and they lived in after they grew up, Wilbur, Maryland, he lived in Richmond. And one son, Billy. I haven't seen him in years. And Mabel, you remember her. She has whooping cough something when she was a young girl. And she expected to speak. You know how she was. She was a real sweet girl.
Back to line.
Not a mine.
Back to speak.
Yeah. And so she might have, I don't guess it was a stroke, but it sort of looked, when people have light strokes, it's really good.
She confined to a wheelchair.
No.
She could walk
She
around.
was, but she had this walk. She always wanted us to fix a nail. I do that a lot for her. Big enough to do that. And,
You remember some of the things that happened around Paula, some of the fun things where y'all used to play, some of the special things you like to have to do,
well,
baseball.
No, we didn't have too much of that. We just played. We played across the street was an alley across back of the houses across the street from us was a big alley. We played back there. And I remember when Cameron Weeks, he got shot in the eye.
He was the attorney in Culver, practice law. He just died.
And Frances Williams was my very best friend. She lived down at the corner on the opposite side. And we saw, well, that was when she lived on, and then they moved to a big house across from Miss Emma Austin. That house is still there, but I can't remember to tell you. It was a great big house that they moved to. Her father was tobacconist. I don't know why they moved like it, but anyway, they did. And that was when we were teenagers and older, a little bit older, thinking about boys and stuff. And I remember some of the people, we used to gather a fire, And there was, let's see, Little Ruffin, Nick Barton, Simon Phillips, Russ Clark, Marvin Ruffin.
You remember that film that was filmed in Summer Heat? That's the surname they used. One of the stars in that film was Jack Ruffin. I remember y'all watching that old film, Summer Heat. That film I showed you, that movie that they made in Carver. Yeah. Ruffin was one of the names.
Yeah.
Yeah. Liv Ruffin was doing whatever.
Yeah, might have been the same thing.
Remember some of the hard times? You remember the depression, having the pet corners?
Yeah, I do sort of, but I don't remember. I got a lot of I think that must have been when they lost the farm.
Yeah, they lost the farm by that time. They didn't really owe that much. What would happen is that they would owe, say, $100, and that could lose the whole farm. I think that was the situation. They really, from what I hear, Henry McNair, somebody said that the Jenkins farm was lost because they only owed like $100, maybe a little bit more. And they just, the Clarks took the farm. That's what happened in a lot of cases.
The Winslows.
The Winslows took the farm.
The Winslows still. They still own by the Winslows.
But that don't sound exactly right. It seemed like it was about $6,000, y'all. One of them would go to town and get something and tell them nothing about it, and it just yee y'all between one another and lost them for little or nothing, what you might say.
I know. They used to.
$6,000 a lot of money.
I didn't say it won't, but anyhow.
But Robert remembers the Aunt Loxie maybe telling Dad.
Oh, someone told me about it, but anyhow, I think that's right.
But they used to fuss at them,
Fuss and yee y'all, couldn't get along.
And I can remember Uncle Jack was like, hush, Loxie. He didn't do much fuss. It was mostly between Daddy and Aunt Loxie.
Yeah.
But they would fuss about little things. It wasn't all that bad.
Well, how was it to be raised in such a large family? You had 4 brothers and 3 sisters. Was that a lot of fun?
Yeah. As I say, I just don't remember much about my childhood.
You remember when Herman Morton got in the fight out in the field or something? Morton got hit in the head, Herman hit him in the head with the hose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Heard me?
Okay. Frances Williams and I used to play dolls on top of the little carbide lights. We had carbide lights and all.
That was a big place.
The carbide light.
That's what Kenny's daddy got killed with.
Carbide light blew up.
Blew up his face.
But ours never blew up.
When Kenny was a little boy.
They were like electric lights you had to steal in there.
They run by gas.
Carbide.
Carbide.
That's a gas.
He said Kenneth to the house to get a flashlight. It was kind of dark in there, and we had to put the lid back on. It's just about when Kenneth got to the side steps going to the house out there where he lives now. That thing blew up. He killed him dead and it hurt a nigga real bad, but he died too. They figured they evidently must have went and started to hurry and went and tried to put on that drop. Fought him off. So we had one Saturday morning. My daddy and granddaddy went over there, but they wouldn't let me go. They knew the situation pretty well.
Well, Mama, you graduated from Benita High School.
Yeah.
Frances was about the same age. She was a little bit older than you.
No, she graduated before I did, and
She's several years older.
yeah.
But you remember going to school with, who was more your age? Herman?
Oh,
Herman.
Herman
A few years
Martin.
younger. How'd y'all get to school?
Oh, we had a bus. We took lunch.
Did the bus break down?
Kind of bus.
We had, when I went to Benita school, we went on a school bus.
Well, maybe you did, because we lived in town. We couldn't ride the bus. We had to walk
We
there.
lived in the country. And I think it was Martin and Herman, Martin, Francis, and I, and Jack went to Benita High School. And Jack and Martin went to Auburn.
So they traveled, they wanted to go to Tarboro.
Yeah, they
Since
were.
they were already going there.
Yeah.
Y'all lived in Tarboro, they had to wait. Who was the smartest out of them? Who was the highest?
I don't know, it's small.
Well, all of them had done well.
Yeah,
All four of the men had advanced degrees, done real well. Two hospital administrators, one attorney, Jack was attorney, and the oldest, Charles Irving, was a certified public accountant, worked for the Department of Agriculture.
yeah, and Jack worked at the Justice lawyer. And Frances went to New York. She was going to be a nurse. She didn't like it, so she came back. So she worked in the telephone. And when I
Very great
grad-
work.
Huh?
Very great work.
Yeah, she worked there for years and years. And
Once you
The
started,
secretary to the president.
I went,
you worked at the telephone.
I went to Fort McDonald in 1930. I mean, 30. Oh, we got married in 1930. I went, yeah. I graduated in 36. Fort McDonald in 37.
Well, McDonald, where's that located?
In Red Springs. It's, and now it's Laurinburg, St. Andrews. But you know, I don't really think it's the same. But it's, you know, it's not really Fort McDonald to me.
How'd you decide to go there?
Well, that's a Presbyterian college.
Just
And I took commercial course. Short
business.
business. And but we had to take all the other courses too, even for English, Bible. And I enjoyed it. You know,
Did you have a lot of friends?
yeah. At first, with Louise Lee, I believe her name was, Fremont, we couldn't get a room. But, so we lived at, no, her name was Louise Newsom. And we lived at this teacher, this place where they would let college students live. And that was like Mrs. Lee. Real nice. We soon got a room, and she room with someone else, and I room with Rachel McGee.
Rachel McGee. And you went there 1 year?
Yeah, I started out with a 2-year commercial, and I got 1 year. And I guess, well, that's when I was going with Ron. I guess he was the cause of me
So you,
not going with 1
is
year.
that the year you met him?
No, I met him before.
When you were senior in high school?
No. I don't know. I had already graduated?
Huh?
I guess so. You know, when we lived in the house up near Millville that belonged to Mr. Millville. That's why you were talking about that house, because you never knew me when I lived out there. And that's when he
I didn't
come
ever
to
go
see
with you.
me.
I dated Francis once or twice. That.
Oh, yeah. Oh, then I
Yeah,
forgot
Elm
about
Brother
this.
dated you one night.
We moved
Francis.
to, back to Charlotte.
Yeah, moved out
That's
there.
where we moved to. On the, St. James Street. We lived,
St. James.
St. James Street.
That's not too far from where I work.
I know.
Is that on the corner or in the middle
It
of the
was
block?
the middle of the block.
Is
Right,
it a white frame house?
yeah.
I think I know where it is.
Right next to the Ely Stateman's house.
Not too far. And you say it's
There's a
St.
lot-
James Street?
Yeah. And then that's when I met, I believe I met you. Did you ever go any country to see me?
No, I double dated with you, but I didn't ever go in the country to see you.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Who'd you double date with?
You started, you were going with Francis. Maybe
Yeah.
that's how I met you.
Ain't no cutting picking thing. I met you at a ball game.
What ball
Ruth
game?
Taylor introduced you
Yeah,
to me.
Ruth Taylor and I were real good friends in Sneeda High School. And she and I went to Robertsonville to the high school to a ball game, basketball. And he was taking up tickets every day.
Dad was taking that ticket.
I guess that's where I
But
met him.
wobbling down the hall, boy, had on a tight sweater.
I did not. I didn't
Red
wear a
back
tight
and like this. I said, good gracious, who's that woman? Look, the girl yonder with a big head like.
I did not do
So
that.
you like the looks to start off with?
Yeah, like the little store I with.
So y'all, you asked him for a date when you met her then?
No, because he went with Francis first.
I went with Francis.
I don't
right?
actually, you met, how'd you meet Francis? Do you remember?
I don't remember. I remember double dating with you. Francis and I were in the El Runner's rumble seat. And we were parked down there in the country. The moon was shining. Just putting up a sand out there. And the moon was shining, and we saw somebody walking up a little path through a field. You know, young comes somebody. And the year it got to us, we saw it was white. And he got up there, he was parked down there, when he pulled out to let a car get by him, and he got stuck in the sand. And he said, I forgot what he said now, but he regularly said, can you give a fellow some help that I'm stuck in the sand now? And by that time he saw who it was, he took him about to death, and we were able to get out. He'd been out of his hands digging, Jack, with his fingers in out of there.
He was desperate. He
Yeah,
wanted
we
to know.
don't have bleeding.
So you dated Frances, her friend. How'd you get around to asking her for a date? Did you ask Frances about her? Or
No, I don't
Frances
think so.
lined you up with Mama?
No,
What was
I
her?
don't.
Weren't we double dating with Mandy Clark?
Might have been double dating Madeline Carter, I don't know. I went with Madeline's son first, I think.
Before you went with me? But anyway, Madeline lived right down from us in the Milford. That place
She lived on the right-hand
been
side.
pouring down.
Going out of here. Going out of here. The house is back to the road, just in the road.
So you got to know Mama when you were dating Madeline.
Yeah, pretty sure I did.
So you asked me out. Where did y'all, on your first date, where'd y'all go?
Oh, Lord.
I don't even remember. Shit.
But it
I remember all
getting
those
seriouser and seriouser and serious.
I did not. We went together a long time. I can't remember how many years.
You went
Charlie
to
tried to get Jill to go to Richmond so she would get married.
really?
Well, I think she wanted me to go. She didn't want me to get married. Well, we weren't even planning to get married. But I just didn't want to go to Richmond.
All I
She
can say
wanted me
about
to
Daddy,
go
that's the
back.
best day's work she ever
That's
done
what
when she
it is.
married me.
I know. Well, I wouldn't be here.
Connie was working in Richmond, the Biggs Antique place. She worked there.
Big thing. Is that where she met?
That's where she met Larry.
He was working at the back of the
Yeah, and they're from there, Hispanic.
So y'all went together how many years before you got engaged? You together 2 years?
3 years.
2, 3 years?
We were married in 1938.
Yeah, about 2
February,
years.
about 2 years.
So how long were you engaged?
How long was
You
it?
were, Did you get Mom an engagement ring?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
How long were you engaged?
at least a year. I don't remember. But, you know, things are like that, we just don't remember those like we do now, you know.
Jack, I was
They have so many things, parties and stuff like that.
I was working in the drugstore and had a boy in there with children. They worked on watches and all. Had one leg.
John Ross. What's his name? John Ross?
Yeah,
He was a jeweler.
he was jeweler, and he was selling jewelry. I said, I need to get a diamond ring and a wedding ring. He said, Robert, I'll tell you what, I'll sell you one for wholesale. Said it retails for $75. I said, we'll appreciate it, John. And so he sold me one. He the one the wholesale on was $35. Right. $35.
Marked up a lot. That was
Well, I've always been marked up. I just want to try to prove you. I always marked up a whole lot. Stuff like that.
So when y'all got
John James Ross.
Yeah, John James Ross.
He had one leg. He married a girl down in Washington. That was the only child that couple had. I forgot what his mom and dad was named.
what were some of the things y'all did when y'all dated?
Oh, yeah, we have a real good time going to dances. We
Yeah.
really had a good time at Canada. They had upstairs in the Canada High School. They had two great big rooms.
We used to have good times when we were parking.
Where'd y'all
Where the
park?
Page building be parked right down in front of us. We'd be
Square
parked behind
dance and
there.
dance. Robert never did learn to square dance.
No, I couldn't do much square dance.
What kind of dance?
And we,
Round dance.
Round
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
you want to square with?
Mavis Woman. Mavis Woman taught me. Took me up there one night to give me a few steps and all, and I got there bothered and went to the dance floor and danced with them over.
got a bottle,
Yeah.
dance with the bottle, huh?
No, I took a drink or two there, baby have a lot.
Oh,
What was your favorite drink back then?
Favorite what?
What was your favorite alcoholic drink?
Old Quaker.
Old quick.
80
I didn't
cents a
drink
pint.
They still make that?
Think so. I was the same kind of liquor though. 80 cents. Jack went up there and let me interrupt with this deal. We went up there one night and I was working at the drugstore and I got the boys bought the liquor and they had put it in the cooler in the icebox thing. And the boys come out and got all the liquor and I couldn't go to the closed drugstore at 10 o'clock. And I went up there and I told the boys I'd be up there. And I went up there and the boys carried all the liquor. They didn't ever get upstairs to the dance in the school building. They took the tops off the liquor and said, shoot. So, strip them just like this. Just let's drink the liquor. And I went up there and they were laying on the ground in the car everywhere. I said, where's the liquor? They said, it's all gone.
I don't even remember anything about the liquor because I didn't mess with it.
No, yeah, you and I
We
didn't
didn't
never go
drink
no
around
dance.
me.
We didn't never go no dance up to did we?
Yeah, we did.
Did we?
Some.
Not some fun.
And, okay. We used to go to Oak City to those dances over there. We went to some dances in Tallbar, you remember?
Yeah,
I
no
went-
dance up there. And
Oh, I went with, you were kind of mad with me because I went to a dance with Bob Abel from Tallbar. I don't think they live there now.
I went up and down.
Yeah.
Was it able man?
I kept to a
His last
dance
name was
up there. That guy she went with at that time. I went with him. No, he kept right on wanting to break on me. I said, "Go on, man." I said, "I brought this woman to the dance night. I'm gonna dance with all I want to or something."
You did. I don't
And he
remember
kept
that.
right
I was
on,
having a
boy,
good
and
time.
I pulled back to hit him, and one of my buddies caught my hand. That's all I said because I was gonna sure knock him down.
Was that the night I went with Bob Abel?
Yeah, I think so.
Well,
Well,
when
you
I
didn't
went
go with Bob. You went with me that night.
Oh, okay.
But he
Well,
wanted to break in.
Well, I went to a dance with him one night. And you didn't like it. But anyway, you went out, didn't you?
What was the main attraction between y'all? What did you find attractive?
Sweetest little woman you ever seen.
I guess I just liked him. I don't know. He was funny.
She like that bull I shot her,
He
Jack.
made me laugh. Always
Oh.
has. And,
Inhuman.
yeah.
My cutting
And he
fool
was
has
great.
got me a long ways with people tell you the truth. I enjoy it, and they enjoy it too. And if it weren't
And-
for making folks laugh and be laughing too, I would what I'd do. That's right. I'm gonna tell you, it's good for folks. I really believe that.
Sure. It can make you well. Some
Yeah.
people that have some problems in the
Yeah,
hospital.
I know.
They even some docs prescribe laughter.
Yeah, I know.
15,
do,
20 minutes of
yeah.
laughter will be healed.
It's good for you.
Sure.
You go see somebody.
So
I don't
we
think it's
just
on
enjoyed
them, but
each
you go
other.
see somebody in the hospital or something. Don't go there and talk about his troubles and all. Try to cheer him up. My goodness.
Talk about the positive.
Yeah, tell him a joke or do something. Don't try to get his mind off what's wrong with it.
That's the best way.
I go sometimes. Some folks I don't hardly what to say to them.
And
You
let's
know, I
say,
don't much more, but I used to go up to San Rebecca Wong. Came back and said I done him more good than anybody come in there because I gave him the laugh and he sit down for a while. You know, I'd always tell a joke, you get him to smile and laugh.
and after we were married, we got married in the Presbyterian Church in Harbor, Alexander. I guess he was our pastor. And he was our pastor. And it was 9 o'clock in the morning.
That's the early time to
Yeah,
get married.
and we just had a small wedding. And Daddy walked down the aisle with me, and we didn't have any, we were going to have, Robert was going to have Gordon Robinson as best man. Marion Blake. I don't know. But anyway, George Rimmer was a good friend, so he turned out to be the best man.
George Rimmer.
I think
Daddy's friend.
No, well, he knew him, but Gordon was really, I don't know. I think,
George Rimmer was from Robsonville.
no,
No, he's not. No, he come out on the ball field.
he's San Nine. He lives out at Bloomington and goes to the Christian church, sings in the choir, and his wife died not so long ago. She was Janet
Cheshire.
You remember, don't you remember Cheshire? I mean, you remember the name.
Her daddy used to run the liquor store at one time, I did. In
Yeah,
charge
he
of
was-
one of the liquor stores, I think. John Cheshire, I believe.
Yeah, thanks. But anyway, George Rimmer was a baseball player. He was from Toledo, Ohio.
Well,
We used to, we're just going back and forth in our lives. But anyway, before I was married, we used to go to all the baseball games. Daddy was.
she was interested in the
Daddy
players, not the ball
loved the
game.
baseball games. He would go, to all of them. So we would drive for him, and then we knew all the baseball goals in Harbor.
Yeah.
I think
Was
Dave,
that a minor crew? Minor crew?
Coached the playing league.
Yeah,
Coach playing league.
yeah, Coach.
There was eight head in it,
Yeah, and
Oh,
we
8 towns in it.
Oh,
Coached the playing league.
we got to know all of them, and Janet and George right now. They were on us that way.
and Dr. Jack played in the same league.
No, he didn't play in that one. Yes, he did, but that was another year. Because he did used to play in the first academy.
What time you going there? What?
He didn't talk to me.
Huh?
It doesn't
Don't read
matter.
it.
No, I just said.
Well, then when we got married, we came out here to live.
But now you skipping a whole lot. You ain't telling nothing about the honeymoon. And
Yeah, what happened on the honeymoon?
where you went and spent the night, went by to see Truett.
Oh, that's right.
Jig.
Okay. We went to Martinsville, Virginia on our honeymoon.
Went by.
That's where
We
you
went
lived.
by Clarksville first to see Jigs and all. Jigs cleaned all the rice out the car for me.
Oh, yeah.
Now keep on tell it right now. You can leave
You
out
can
one
tell it
item.
if
You
you
can leave
want
out
to.
one item in there.
Oh, yeah. Well, we stopped, as you said, see your mother and your stepdad. And Pruitt was a little boy. Was he in the
About 2
crib?
years old.
Yeah,
He was still in his crib.
yeah. And, that's right, he was in his crib when we got married. We went by to see them. And then we went to Martinsville.
Right.
Why'd y'all decide to get
We
married?
rode around there. We
just
recognized
rode.
that old building up there. We went to see. You know, you brother.
Yeah. You recognize the old building?
Yeah.
But anyway, we just rode until we decided to find a place to go.
So you just took off and headed towards the mountains?
Well, we was going, we didn't get where we went.
Just head off?
We just look, let's look at the bedroom.
Just
Just look
spin
at
the bottom, see what's what.
Hey, Jack, just look at the bedroom.
Well, anyway, we had to go for a great deal to this motel.
Yeah, that's right, Cochran
That's
back.
That downtown Martinsville.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was downtown.
Still, the
Is
bill
there
was still.
something wrong with your car? You
Wait
want
a
to get
minute.
somebody to push
Wait a
it?
minute, now you ain't never got to the other we got a room, and just about time we got into bed good, they had an automobile wreck right in front of both the
I don't remember
hotel.
Y'all
I don't
caused the wreck.
remember that.
Yeah, it did.
Y'all probably caused the wreck.
No. But anyhow, when it come out next morning, of all the time, to have to push an automobile, that's where they had to push it. And I was in bad condition.
Did you push it down here? All you had to do is push it down
Wait a
here.
minute, I had to push it back up
He remembers
to get it going down. And I went and got a bellhop to come push me. He looked at me and said, you can't even push this car. I said, I need some help.
What kind of car was it?
36 Ford. 36 Ford.
How fast was it?
And they had never had no trouble with that thing right there. That's the only time I had trouble with it. That damn thing was back. After we got it started, it was all right. We got married on a Saturday morning, and we had to be back in Robertsville Sunday night, by Monday morning, so Sunday had a car to go to school. So we had to make a fast trip.
That was Aunt Minnie's car?
Yeah.
So you had a bicycle to start off with. That's how you got around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a bicycle. They cry every time come on. We won't ride that thing bicycle. Mama
Wait.
put him in the basket, ride him, and chime in there and go get groceries.
He didn't like that.
Well, he didn't mind sitting there. He wanted to ride. Every time he come on, somebody ride.
And we lived here. We didn't have anywhere to live, did we? We lived here 6 months.
In Robinson,
Right
downtown.
No, we had it upstairs where Jones was. We stayed up there
6
till
months.
that fall or sometime. Miss Charlotte wanted to move down here.
Yeah, and so we rented Cox out. That was
Not the first house we rented. We stayed right outside of C.L. Wilson.
Yeah.
It was
We had one whole side of that.
next to
was
C.L.
like-
Wilson house.
Like your house, like. We had one whole
Main
side
Street.
up and down. No, it's right down there at South End Wilson.
Right down there where Ben Wilson lives now. That was his daddy.
Right
Ben
next
used to come over there with his diaper messed up.
Yeah.
Mama tell him to go home and get a diaper sheet clean, and she did.
Benny
No, I didn't do that.
I know you did too. Poor little fella.
Well, it was okay. And then we moved around to the
Contact.
Cox house. And that was
That was where Nicky was born.
that's where Mickey was
We've been married 3 years when Nicky was born.
Where was the contact? What street was that?
Third.
You remember where you left the
Street.
old factory? It was the second house. So Bruce Fullback used to live on the corner.
Right there where the parking lot is now.
Right where they got the parking lot at. Then the next house
call
where we
that my
lived in,
house. I like that.
before we bought it, we was out here for growth. Hassel.
Oh, they moved
Well-
that house.
Yeah, the contact.
And we used to have
They had
all
to take the top
the,
off. They thought they were going to be able to do it without taking it off. I wanted to start it out. They had to take the top off when we got out.
Oh, yeah. When they leave?
Oh, a few years back. You wouldn't recognize it if you see it.
I didn't recognize it.
It's on the right-hand
I know he
side.
wouldn't.
Coming from Hassel, coming back to Rossville, about 1.5 miles after you leave Hassel. Johnny Robinson boy lives in that house.
He lived there about 5 years.
Then you moved out right there.
No, Frank, he was the tobacconist who bought the house from us. I wish we had bought it all like that. Anyway, we had to
Frank
move it
Kerr.
to Kern.
Kurt,
He bought the house, and we moved
he
on.
married Bill Taylor's widow. Bill died.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't matter.
No, wait a minute. He died and Bill married his widow. She come down and live out the Washington. Gladys.
Gladys. And then from there we moved to this big white house on the corner right across the street from the Methodist Church.
That's where
You know
Jones
where that
was
is? Jones was born wrong.
Is that where the Rogerson lived?
Right across the corner, Capstone.
So John was born.
Jones was
The
born.
one in that front room down there by the Methodist church.
In those days, you know, the babies were born at home.
Was Mickey born at home?
No, Mickey.
Nicky was born on top. That was a freshman, so we decided that this Charter Pay boy, that things were tight. And I had put some land in it, some
Land
kind of land bank, soil bank or something of it. And I got it, I think that the bill was, it was 10 days or 2 weeks she said it. I think it was $80 living day too.
How about that?
$80.
Yeah.
And I stayed there.
10,000.
Stayed
Yeah, I don't know about
there.
that, but
You
it's
know,
something.
when people had babies in those days, they didn't even lift the head from the pillow for 7 days. It's really changed, huh?
How to get out.
Bees go up your bitch, they do.
Ooh, I hope not. That would be fine. But anyway, and Mickey, he didn't want a little sister. Want a little brother. But he finally got one, didn't he? And then from, let's see, then we moved out here again.
We moved from there out to Aunt Emma.
Oh, that's right. Aunt Emma bought
Aunt
that.
Emma bought the house.
Yeah, Aunt
And
Emma
we
bought
moved
that
down
house.
there for a
She
while.
gave us an apartment out there and
Yeah.
everything.
And Mama died, and then we moved back here.
Right. In Tennessee.
And you was born in that big house up there. Has anybody else ever been born in that? I don't know about.
Yeah, you were the only.
So my
lady
granddad and
black.
grandmammy moved in that house. I can't vouch for these two was back here. So I ain't nobody just tell me on that. I don't know when it was built. That's the weatherboard was when the house was built like that.
So what happened that morning when I was born?
Well, I had a whole lot going on. I had sow-hound pigs, had chickens to take over the brook chicken, weird out yonder. I don't want all that. And I went to town. I said, well, I reckon I need to go get a bed pan. I don't know whether Mama got one of those. And I went uptown and come back. I went in the living room, and Dr. Jesse had just come in the door. We come out that little bedroom there. He said, Robert, says you got a nice boy laying over there on the sofa. I hadn't even heard you.
You were sucking your finger.
Almost sat down on
Yeah, that Dr. Jesse stayed out here all night.
He's a good doctor.
And the nurse.
He left and went home one time.
He went home and the nurse was staying.
And he didn't stay gone long. He said, now, if I leave, I'll let you know where I'm going to be, Mildred.
But Mildred
Yes.
was right with you.
Yes, Anderson's wife.
Yeah, Catherine.
She helped him put one thing like that.
She was Mildred's wife.
Liz Melton came out here and stayed with you a little while.
Yeah, after you were born, said we always got, after babies were born, we had to have somebody for a couple of weeks.
Did I have a black mammy on?
Oh,
Where
yeah.
that's coming from?
Yeah, we did.
Who was my black man?
What was her name?
Who?
That
Big
black.
lady.
Yeah, because we got a picture.
Big black lady.
I can't tell you what her name. Seemed like her name was Gladys.
I can't
She
remember.
lived down yonder on the other side of Robertson Bridge, going back around there. With it. Henry Roberts used to have some horses all back in there.
Well, how was it to have 3 kids? Did we get along good?
Yeah, you got along all right, but thinking you probably just growing up with 3, you know. 3 makes a crowd. 2 crowd when you're young, but
2 of you would do all right. I'll answer this. 2 of you would do all right, but
Which
3
two?
couldn't make it.
Any 2 would do all right.
But they get along pretty good. But 3 just couldn't make it. I don't know who was. What happened there?
I don't remember too much about Mickey because he's 8 years old.
I know.
Like,
What Mickey had, I guess it must have come from a fall when he was a baby. We had this colored girl to babysit. He and Mickey and Chip Gray were in the carriage, you know, and the nurses would roll them all over, you know. And this girl pushing Mickey, she pushed him and it hit the curb and he
Trying to
fell
look.
over.
Trying to look because one was looking at it and saw
Yeah.
and told us about it.
This way. Happened to see it and she told him.
It
But
is.
he had a skin burn. It's a real bad
And he had
skin
things up there. And we had to go to Tarver to get, what was it, some kind of medicine saying. We didn't have it here.
I didn't remember that. But anyway, it got in his system and he had these balls. Oh, he had so many balls, too. And I can remember when he was laying out in the yard, you know, he was laying on his stomach with his brother. You know, he had one about that. But anyway, he had those for years. They soon just he just outgrew them. I was glad of it too, because he had a time. And then when he was in the 8th grade, he had Cochran.
He had poison out all over his body.
Yeah, that was terrible. He looked
He really had to sit
really
down.
bad. He really did.
Miss Charlie called for to come out here to see him, and Mickey was back there in the room. They're both sleeping in that little room right there. Miss Charles on one side, Big Roller, and that Dr. Joe, he went over there, kept looking at Mickey. Miss Charlie liked that thing, but he gave Mickey more kiss than did him.
Yeah. Yeah. I was glad when he got through with those things.
Well, Mickey was pretty good with his hands. He was real good taking with things. You remember that he was good. We know he was good at playing baritone.
Oh,
But
yeah.
he used to like taking on things.
Uh-huh.
He was seemed to be the awesome personality. He was real good with his hands. That's why he still likes to work and
Both of you
landscape.
boys were good with your hands when y'all were throwing that croquet ball up and Neil catch his blood run out of his mouth.
Oh yeah.
That was a shame anybody do that. You'd fuss
Yeah.
like I don't want you see.
Yeah, Neil would catch that ball. He would throw it just high as the top of his peak.
That's how y'all go.
And he would catch it kaploop. And,
Click every time he catch it.
yeah. And his mouth would start pretty.
Good.
Blood run out of the corner of his mouth. I felt so sorry for you boys.
Wait.
Throw it again.
But you should have.
I ought to put them. I did, I read.
I guess you did. I don't know.
I didn't put them over that, but I did put them one
It
right there.
wasn't really all that bad. I don't
I
remember
whipped all
seeing
three
any
of you in that
blood.
back porch right there, one right behind the other.
Wow.
Told y'all you ought to fuss with one another so much. I got tired of it.
Yeah.
Took one out at the time.
Would you whip his belt?
I don't want to. I might got a switch. I don't want to. Don't never get a whip down late. I pulled his Richard leg up. I hit him on the leg. He said, Mama, don't hit me like that. I said, Mama ain't whipping your son this time.
Well, who was the best baby out of the three? Or the worst?
Jack, you ought to let the boy tell you too long. They'll get tired of that. I'm not trying to cut you off with that, but
Well, all of you are mischievous. You get into things.
I was a good boy. I didn't never get
You
it.
and Brent, you know, the time y'all went out
Left up
in
that
the
house
woods
thing, you know.
to camp out, something came back, you were on your bicycles and you had, did you have a hammer or something with you?
I think.
Axe, a
Axe.
little axe.
When they
Hatchet.
messed up that house and killed us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It broke the windows
We were
and,
trying to refurbish it.
yeah.
Come put you
Anyway,
made the whole
that-
post fold out if you ought to cut that last post out
Robert,
there.
your daddy was in Kentucky. And Miss Burnett Robinson called, it was that house, called me and said that they had ruined that house, about $200 worth. Of course, she didn't know how much it would cost. And they were getting ready to have some family to move in, and y'all worked it off.
I went down there and put a whole one in it. In the post.
It
I
hurt-
didn't borrow
it
the post.
broke up
so-
the, what do you call round the windows?
Frank,
Frank.
I put a whole one in there. What I done down there cost Russ Williams about $25 a piece.
Oh, listen. And then, did they break what was holding up the porch? You know.
That stood a stand up that post. Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you, they had chopped that.
Well, later, after it was fixed, Uncle Landon walked down there with his two sons and they shot at the place.
Oh, I know.
A year or two after that, everybody was living there. They walked down the railroad track.
You remember breaking their window?
No,
right
Uncle
when you
Landon
were born?
didn't do it. It was Bill and Lanny and
I broke
wow.
Nicky.
I broke this window.
This
Fix the window down
the
here. I
second
hit-
house.
Hitting
Yeah.
rocks. I was
Right in the corner of it.
walking the
49 by 49. I know what it is.
That was one of my favorite pastimes. Hit rocks with the back. I hooked it right down to the bottom corner.
Who was it? Johnny's boy, or was it Jinx with you? Walking down the road. One of the other.
Gee,
It was Jane.
And who was with you when you broke the cart shave out there or something? Fly up
that
there.
was Jerry.
Jerry. I knew he was in with
Oh,
something.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
Jerry. And you were mad that day.
You gotta believe it. Get down and bat, then can't all the way down there to come down. You knew
Yeah.
damn blame
Break it right
well.
off.
And then the time Mickey and Bram were in the corn barn. They were playing in the corn barn, and to go up on it and slide down, and it was all
We
out,
had filled the
all
corn
out
barn
in
full
the
of
yard, all down.
corn. And they had, man, that old corn barn and run it out. I don't know how much out on the ground. And I had them told me they had to throw it back. And they were out there, they went well. Brandon's mama come out here and said, where am I? I said, I got them working. I said, they'll best up the corn and the corn barn and all run out the door. She said, I want to see this. And she walked out over here across the slide. Mom had come to get it. She said, son, said, when Mr. Cochran gets through with y'all, come back and get his face fell right there. He'll tell you about that right now. I saw him over here a few years on the green with him too long there.
I saw him not too long.
And he was telling somebody about it there in a holiday anyway when we
Well, that was,
Oh, and I don't remember anything Joan did.
she didn't get any mischief.
She wasn't that mean. I mean, that mischievous.
Well, most girls are sweet.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't get
Well,
much
that's
mischief.
not me.
I will never forget when she went to Grill and got them three dresses though. And I told her, I said, Daddy, that first dress she take to put on, the other two looks all right. If you really want me to tell you what I think of that first one, you know, who wears a dress like that? She said, I can't back more. Said, I don't want to see that on you no more.
Did Joan have any special talent? She was pretty good at art.
She's, yeah,
Yeah, it's hot here.
plenty warm.
Y'all ready to
Oh,
stop?
yeah. So she was very talented in
Y'all
art,
think we
and
better
she
wind
still
this thing
is.
up later on.
Yeah,
Well,
she
that's
was
enough.
real versatile. She had a
You
lot
don't
of
know,
talents. She played the piano and the clarinet.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, she did.
She was elected most versatile when she was a senior in high school.
Yeah, that's right.
She used to take dancing classes.
Yeah,
Oh,
she was
yeah.
major red.
Well, now, how about you? You with the band? You played the trombone? And you played football? And
Yeah, he had a character there. He carried
He
carried
made
the
a
ball, made a
touchdown.
touchdown.
yeah.
You
I
remember
was
that?
the only person in my family that every time he carried the ball, he made a touchdown.
One time.
Say that she did.
That was the last touchdown against Saratoga. Made the score 35-0. They were already whipped. And that was it was written up in the paper that Smith and Evanson, Pat Smith and Stuart Evanson had tallied up more than 500 yards between the two. And we beat Saratoga 35-0. That was back in 1966. That was a lot of fun. That was one of my greatest moments. I didn't really know I scored until I was tackled a couple yards across the line. I looked back. I
Are
saw
y'all
the,
that high?
I looked back and
Ain't
saw
right.
saw
Son
the
don't do
marker.
me no good, man. You know that.
I looked back and saw the touchdown in the marker. I jumped up, started jumping up and down. You remember that?
Well, I guess we better get up.
That sun eats me up. That skin
Yeah.
trouble I got, Jack. It's hot on me back there.
I enjoyed this, but
Yeah.
I couldn't remember a whole lot. Anyway.
Well, we'll
I thank
continue
you
this
for
at
wanting to do
another day at the Cochran Memories. Enjoyed y'all being with us.
Come around this way, Dad. Come on. Hey. Come on. Hey.
What's the dog's name?
Molly.
Miley.
Look at her scratch that chest. She loves somebody to scratch your chest. You can turn her loose, you go look after her. That'll run over you, knock you down.
We gotta go. I'll go with Jack to get this.
Half a century.
Wait a minute. Not yet.
Not